Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
No, I was supposed to say "Como estás," dude. Come on. We have to start over. God damn it! This is all your fault. We have to start the entire episode out over again.
Oh god, it's always my fault.
Yes, I can never be at fault when it specifically comes to having to restart the whatever the fuck we're doing.
Well,
Right,
you are
reading.
best girl.
Yeah, of course. Does that mean you're best troll, baby? I've been starting to do really sus things to people. Like, especially for my friends. Like, when I leave the chat, I'll go, "Bye, baby," and then I'll leave. And I don't know why.
I mean, you have been saying "laters, babe" to, like, Tom. Not "laters, babe," not specifically "laters, babe."
Just like,
you've been
babe.
calling Tom babe. The "laters, babe" thing popped into my mind, and I immediately realized, no, wait, that's the thing that Christian Grey keeps saying in fucking 50 Shades. And it makes no sense character-wise. It sounds just skin-crawlingly why coming from him. Because, I'm just gonna say it, a fucking abusive psychopath says "laters, babe" to me, I'm punching him in the face.
I'd just be like, alright, is this person actually crazy, or do they need, like, help?
Oh, fuck, that just reminded me of the whole thing with D&D. I am probably going to have to point out that, like, I don't know, like, Tuesday after next session with that out of character, I do like the character of Aya, but in character, no.
I was taken aback when she was just like, "Here, have my coins." I was just like, okay.
Oh yeah, that was kind of a funny moment, but it was the whole thing of like, oh, I see, you suffer from the sin of perversion. That's kind of a dick way to put it. I'm just exchanging money for, people are just giving me money in exchange for goods and services. Oh, so you suffer from the sin of greed.
Alright,
I'm done talking to you now.
I could just picture just like, Ruru just putting a hand on his shoulder. No, don't do it. It's not worth it.
So I think I did actually have it set up. Like, one of the things about Sazerac is he loves a good insult, even if it's directed at him. But that's one of those things where it's like, that's not clever at all.
Please don't slut shame me, sir. That's...
Which, one of the other things I have is that his flaw is he doesn't know when to shut the hell up. And so it's just a constant struggle not to just snap and be, okay, look here. So just the whole thing of just like, you know what? Just to solve this entire thing, I'm not talking to her.
And Ruru's just like, oh my gosh. If only that dumb lizard wasn't here, I'd rob the clothes off this girl's back.
What the fuck?
The first thing Ruru said when she met her was like, she's an easy target.
Yeah, you did. Meanwhile, my character was just like, no, not another person. Why do we keep meeting people in this tunnel?
That was a really strange place to meet everyone.
Well, like, one of them fell through a hole, the other one found another entrance.
Yeah.
It was just a whole thing of just like, And then it's like the polar opposite of Jess's last character. And it's like, oh, it just Sazerac being like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh, God.
Sazerac's already in a bad mood because of party things that have happened. And then that happens.
You still have to fucking teach the big stupid lizard how to, flirt, I guess.
Yes, and he also has to give Ruru a massage.
Hey, but I'm paying you for that at least.
You are paying. She is paying.
Yes.
Like, that was one of those things that just kind of made me laugh, and I'm hoping that it didn't come across as weird whenever he said, alright, so happy ending or not. Because that was just supposed to be a whole thing of him being business-minded, of like, okay, so how do you want this? Not just, like, I'm hoping that didn't come across as creepy.
No, what happened was shit. What the fuck does happy ending mean again? It probably means sex. No, Ruru doesn't need that. She just wants a massage.
Honestly, it would have just been funny, like, Ruru does not understand what happy ending means. Yeah, sure.
No, Ruru's at least at least experienced enough to be like, okay, he's a,
Which, I will say, like, if that had started, and it, like, Ruru was immediately, like, upon realizing, like, no, stop, Sazerac would have been like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, Ruru's too angry for that.
Okay.
She might just be like, ah, fuck, well, now I have to fuck. Now I have to fuck the demon.
Oh, God. Because that is also the whole thing, is, like, despite being an incubus, he never uses, like, his abilities to coerce people into that. It's just, like, it's instead of just a whole thing of, no. If they want it, yes. If they don't, I'm not going to push the issue.
And then A is just like, I can do it for free.
You fucking whore.
You know that? What you know? I really probably didn't say yes to that. Besides being really greedy.
Why?
The whole thing of people don't really trust things when they're free.
Oh, the money thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just Sazerac, with Sazerac internally, it was just kind of a whole thing of, because I was just I guess out of character was the whole thing of, like, raised by monks, has reached enlightenment, looks down on people that haven't reached enlightenment. So it's a whole thing of, like, just out of character and possibly a little in character. Just as that happened, just, that's not going to fix anything, right? She's going to want more.
Yeah. What I would really think was about to happen with that is, fuck, I lost what I was going with that. Fuck, god damn it. Yeah, can I say, before we start though, one last thing. I should have said yes to the happy ending just to piss off the lizard.
I'm gonna say, depending on where the massage is, it's gonna be a whole thing where Sazerac just kind of looks at Kresnik like, you out. Can one of you keep an eye on him?
For real. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a back one, so
Yeah, which
requires you to take off your shirt.
I have decided that Sazerac is going to, instead of asking for money, be like, hey, can I possibly get a carriage and a driver instead?
Ruru would have probably been like, give me money, but then upon seeing you get a carriage, she'd be like, listen, you want to go back to Vestige real quick? I gotta,
I mean, that is the plan, a carriage so that the party can go back to Vestige.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing that Tom mentioned, is the fact that we would need to have some sort of transportation lined up. Otherwise, we're walking what was a 2-day trip with a carriage.
Yep. I got inspiration. I didn't even have to say anything, and I got inspiration that day.
Yeah, you did with that. That was kind of funny. And it is probably going to be a whole thing to our next session. Sazerac's just like, okay, honestly, you're the only person I feel like I could talk to right now. Why? Yeah.
Like, why did you take those dog tags?
It's like, why did you do that?
Because the plan was, all right, Ruru completely and honestly thought we weren't going to be able to save these people.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, listen, maybe they're also really depressed because they're lost down here and their families don't know they're here. So as, a person who's supposed to reap souls, even if I can't directly get to them these times, I can help them rest by giving the dog tags back.
I did also... Oh, sorry.
But at the very end, Ruru was going to be like, and maybe they would have rewarded me. Just to, stay in character.
I did also find it kind of funny, because, like, the whole thing I've been doing with Sazerac is just someone who's kind of, like, that borderline between, like, dude who cares a bit too much and also kind of jerk. So that whole thing... I
want to care, but I don't want to get too close.
Yeah, like with Sazerac, it's one of those whole things of, I'm not going to get too close to people, but at the same time, I am a social butterfly.
Yeah.
But, like, the immediate thing with Aya when she showed up is like, all right, you can help us, but just so you know, I can't guarantee that you're going to get paid for it. Being a whole thing of, just so you know, we're getting paid, and if you don't want to do this because you aren't getting paid, that's okay.
Yeah.
And her just immediately being like, oh, so you need money to do good?
I could just picture her in the background. Yep, it's the only reason I'm here.
Like, it said, both in and out of character. I was just like, okay.
So you're playing high, and this party needs a better moral compass, though. Let's be real. Kresnik needs some help keeping, everyone in line.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Past few sessions, Sazerac was the moral compass.
Here's the thing. You don't have to be the moral compass anymore.
I don't have to be, but at the same time, it's just one of those things of, okay, I'm doing my best to make sure the party doesn't fucking kill each other. Oh god
That's
damn
not
it.
even moral compass. You're just team mom, okay?
Yeah, yeah, team mom. And then that happens. It's like, oh boy, another child.
Right, so next
Anyway.
week is Monster of the Week, right?
Yeah, this upcoming Friday is Monster of Every Other Week. It's going to be a continuation of the Kentucky Conundrum.
I wasn't listening to half of that because I was gone.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I'm sorry.
I mean, technically speaking, it just popped up on YouTube half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Because I didn't upload it yesterday. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's continue with this.
Fuck, now we have to really start over. We've been talking for like...
Instead of talking about D&D.
We did 10 minutes of pretty much just straight D&D talk. Whoops.
I mean, it was more enjoyable than this story.
It's not like we weren't going to do this anyways.
Yeah, we were going to get sidetracked by anything. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring up that Japanese fucking glasses thing again.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on Chapter 6 of Sonic.exe the Remake. Space-time is a lie.
You might want to put a, something at the beginning, skip to 10 minutes if you actually want to hear the story start.
I mean, I've had comments before saying that the best part is the banter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, granted, that sometimes depends on the stories, but...
I really hope the banter's better than the story, because that means I'm at least better than this story as a person.
You're definitely better than the writing. Because
Thanks.
I highly doubt you'd assume that a rando college student would be allowed on an active crime scene.
I also don't believe I would call my professors teachers.
Yeah. Again, I'm wondering if it's the fact that this person wasn't in college where they wrote it, or them being from a different country.
But for some ever reason, we can't seem to find the person who wrote this one.
I mean, I guess if we did some light Googling, we could, but at the same time, I don't really care.
Alright. Oh, wait, if we're reading this again, that means I get to go onto the Sonic Wiki.
Oh, God. The assembly this time was regarding the murders that had been announced. 3 people had been found dead this time, 2 students and another teacher. The college was in a state of panic from this revelation, but the principal tried his best to quell the fears and questions of the student body. Because of these recent kills, these new rules will be put into effect as of right now. He replied with a look of minor dismay and frustration. Firstly, all students are to return to their dorm rooms by 6 p.m. every evening, and they are to stay there. Secondly, all students are to be taken to their classes by a teacher. No, except. Okay. Few things. I don't know if you were there when this was happening, but a while back, there was a problem of a string of sexual assaults at the university we go to.
I don't remember hearing about that, except for in a class when we were talking about how horribly colleges handle those kind of things.
Yeah. Now, maybe it's just the fact that for some fucking reason sexual assault isn't taken nearly as seriously as murder, but...
Yeah, but...
Nothing of this sort of thing, it was just a few flyers were put up warning people about it, and then a few groups of people decided, yeah, we should probably implement a buddy system, but it was never a whole thing with the university actually doing anything.
Yeah, but that's why I bet they didn't even email everyone.
Probably not.
I don't think
I actually received any emails. But again, like, every fucking country handles sexually assault fucking abysmally, so maybe that had to do with it. But at the same time, I weirdly get the feeling that this wouldn't happen even with multiple murders taking place on a college campus.
The murders would get more attention, that's for sure, and the buddy system would probably be more widespread, but they wouldn't have... The teachers wouldn't be walking with people. The teachers would probably just be like, oh, fuck, get to my car, get to my car, get to my car. Why the fuck would
the professors be fucking, like, chaperoning? That makes no fucking sense to me.
Yeah. Teachers have their own shit they gotta get to.
And that's ignoring the fact that university, there are classes that go well past 6.
Yeah, you're literally screwing over all the people who have daytime jobs that go to college.
Yeah, night classes, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of shit that just... No. I know these rules seem unreasonable, also kind of unrealistic, but I promise they are for your own safety.
That's why half of the student body is going to ignore them.
Yeah, because that's also one of the other things. The Night Watch that the university now has was created by the student body.
Do they get paid, or do they just do it for
No.
free?
They do it for free. They set it up because of the sexual assaults, because nothing was fucking being done about them. So the Night Watch was set up for that specific reason, doing the rounds. And they've also done some partnership with the college, with the university's LGBT group, because of the fact that that group has received a lot of fucking threats.
Ours? Like at our school?
Yes!
Oh my god.
I'm not sure why the people that are doing lovely little bake sales with triple C thick brownies are getting fucking death threats, other than the fact that they gay, it's the South. But
what the man? I'm about to fucking join the Night Watch in this fucking LGBT. Fucking hell.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining you on the night. Just, fuck. I don't.
Just like some
least
bitch
physically
fish.
threatening person I've ever met.
Here's the thing, though. I don't have to be threatening to be on the Night Watch.
Well, I'm trying to
What
remember.
I do, I pull out my phone, take a picture, and call the cops.
Well, because here's the thing. Like, I was friends with people who they might have graduated, but when they were on the like they were part of the Night Watch, like they were the founders of the Night Watch, and at least one of them was a fucking black belt. Like, this was like a 300-pound strong fat black belt. Like, I'm not kidding. The thing
like,
is,
if you try to fuck with my student body, I'ma fuck you up.
Yeah, because the whole thing is he looked like he should weigh about 200 pounds, like a little over 200 pounds, but because of the muscle under the fat, he was closer to 300.
So you're saying he was the lad?
Yeah, like that guy could fuck you up. It was the whole thing. He
was on the Night Watch then.
Yeah, because it's also the whole thing. If you are a black belt in a form of martial arts, before you fight someone either in self-defense or something like that, because of the fact that your body is technically registered as a lethal weapon, you have to give warning beforehand.
By the way, I'm a black belt. Yeah, right. Proceeds to knock them on their ass.
Just so you know, my hands are technically registered as lethal weapons. I'm sorry, what? Poof!
On the ground. I wonder if the Night Watch is still around, even without, their bosses.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Let's go parading around the campus at night to see if we can find them.
I mean, I did end up kind of taking a walk with some of the members at night a few times, like back when I was still in the dorms.
Oh, that was nice of you.
I mean, I highly doubt I would have been able to do much to help.
Like I said, you don't have to physically get involved. If you see it happening, call the cops, dude.
My frame and long arms are perfect for clotheslining.
Nah, here's the thing. You're just so skinny, you could hide behind like a signpost and watch people do things.
It's like that one joke that happened in fucking D&D in which we both hid behind the dragon, in which I was actually hiding behind the Dragonborn during a fight and using him as cover for stealth.
Yep.
I do a stealth check. All right, how are you hiding? Behind beef slab.
Hey, that's a nice idea. Does it too?
It's like, all right, you roll, you got that. Okay, yeah. I mean, have you seen how wide his shoulders are?
I could just picture you just like touching his shoulders, like, ooh, nice shoulders.
That's another thing, like the whole thing of him calling me like a lady man, like all this different stuff, like jokingly emasculating the character. It's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of like a whole back and forth thing. It's just like, oh, so you're a slut and you're greedy. Like,
Rue is just the embodiment of greed in our party, though.
Yeah. Anyway.
The police are still doing everything they can to capture the killer. Please remain calm. Yeah, right. Mike grunted as the assembly ended. This college is going to get close faster than Marvin Roberts breaking his marathon record.
Who the fuck talks like this?
Tom's worries, meanwhile, were starting to increase by the hour. He couldn't stop thinking about how the computers during the murders always had their batteries die, as well as what he Googled about bodies losing weight when the soul leaves.
We also talked about that before and how that was kind of disproven. Anyway,
yeah.
After the assembly, he sat on his couch watching Kyle's laptop charge up. 36% power. Because of what he had researched, he wanted to call Green about the autopsies to see if it was true. So he dialed Green.
Oh my gosh. I just realized something. This is like malicious sentient code, right?
Kinda, yeah. I mean...
Maybe that's why the fucking battery keeps dying, because he's using a shitty laptop on it. Imagine being some all-powerful, demonic, sentient, evil code and being stuck in the world's most shittiest laptop like that fucking SCP.
You have to have, like, a supercomputer in order for it to work properly without, like, fucking over your CPU.
Yeah, so every time he tries to, expand into somebody else's computer, he just fucking obliterates it.
There's not enough RAM to handle this program.
But I haven't downloaded anything. Computer explodes.
Granted, if memory serves, that's what the other terrible Facebook horror movie Friend Request kind of had, in which it showed, like, the haunted code. It was the stupidest fucking thing.
Please tell me it was a bunch of ones and zeros.
I can't. I think it was like some like altered form of like. I don't fucking know shit about computers. It wasn't like ones or zeros. It might have been like BASIC or C++ or something. But it would have it to where like the symbols would randomly shift.
No, they shouldn't randomly shift. I mean, honestly, what I feel like sentient evil code would do was like you're sitting there watching the code suddenly take form and control the computer, and you watch as it essentially bug fixes itself until it takes up as minimal space as possible.
Well, yeah, but what you're also talking about is more in the line of a Skynet type situation in which you have a sentient, self-improving code that just so happens to be evil, as opposed to something like this in which it is somehow a supernatural software. And that presents all types of other issues. For instance, how the fuck do ghosts interact with programs?
A keyboard.
Because that's the whole thing with like technology horror only really worked a bit when this sort of technology was first starting out, because nowadays it's just kind of a whole thing of we're so used to this technology that trying to make horror out of it doesn't really work.
Because people just be like, no, that's not how that works.
And that's not even getting into, like, oh, fuck. I don't know if you saw trailers for it. Fucking Countdown.
Yes.
One of the things I remember is just looking at the trailer, kind of just getting a feel for it of, oh, it's an app that shows you when you're going to die and causes your death. And one of the things I just kind of remember thinking to myself is, you know what would actually be more effective? If the app didn't cause your death. If it was something more in line of, like, almost like how, I guess some people might feel whenever they do something like 23andMe or stuff like that, in which they, like, take a look at their genetics and find out, oh, I'm predisposed to all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of thing of, like, it coming back, oh, you're gonna die in this time. And the app not actually causing it, it just happening. Like, it just being an inevitable thing that happens.
You want me to download the Countdown app and see when I die?
Like, is there an actual fucking app?
Yep.
Did they make a tie-in? Oh, God, fucking hell.
Dear me, downloading the app.
I don't know, like something more like existential horror than supernatural horror, you know? Where it's not the fact that the app, like, oh, you're gonna die because of spooky demon app.
Final Destination, like before.
I guess kind of like Final Destination, only instead of an active component, it's just the whole thing of, it's an inevitability. It's like, oh, okay, well, I was planning a trip around that time, so I won't get on that airplane. And then you get in a fucking car crash, or you get run over, or you get mugged and shot. Like,
yeah.
That actually would have been kind of more effective. It would have been fucking depressing and nihilistic. But I don't know.
My countdown is ready. Should I accept my fate?
God damn it.
Yes.
What is it telling you?
It's doing that stupid end licensed user agreement thing that you accept before you even use the app, you know? 38 years, 147 days, 3 hours, 25 minutes, and 48 seconds.
Well, it could be worse.
Yeah, at least I'm not dying in the next 30 seconds. And then I go to the side, and it's just the feed for the movie.
Oh, God.
Alright, well, time to delete this stupid app. Good thing
Cause,
I'm gonna die when, I'm, 50.
Because, that could be more of an interesting premise. Because, I mean, I'm sure there are people that have felt like that. Like, oh, yeah, this sort of, genetics research or statistics and stuff like that is interesting. But it's also kind of existentially terrifying of, oh, we can predict all this sort of shit about you based on different things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
No, are you kidding me? A free app that tells you, what diseases you're used to would be, very helpful.
Because, it's the whole thing of, yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to know that stuff, but then you find out, oh, you have a predisposition to dementia.
Oh, God. That'd be horrible.
Exactly!
I mean, it'd be helpful, but... Oh, I can picture so many people trying to just, try to do everything they can to stop dementia, but it's just not working, because they're predisposed to it.
But something in that vein, to where instead of that, it's oh, because of how much information could be found out about you, able to, statistically and accurately map out when you're gonna die. And the best things about horror, the best times horror works is when it's not fully explained, so you don't need the whole thing of, oh, you see, a long time ago, this demon was summoned, and that's what's powering the app.
How does a demon... Never mind. I don't want to go through the intricacies of how a demon's gonna do that, but okay.
But,
it'd be just terrifying, just, having the app, link to you all the things, they use to figure out what it is, and it's just you.
Because that's the whole thing, is, horror works best when it's built off of the fears of the modern day.
Yeah.
And so, something like that. I imagine that there's a lot of people out there that are kind of that whole mindset of, it's kind of fucking terrifying how much can be found out about you just through, your online life. The whole thing of how Facebook ended up, outing someone as gay by showing them an ad for a gay cruise based entirely just on, their search history. This person still being in the closet, and an incidental closet jettison happened because of that.
It's called closet jettison when it's on, not on their terms?
That's what I started calling it. Just an incidental closet jettison is when someone is accidentally outed.
That's amazing.
That's what I started calling it. There might be an actual term for it, but I think I started using the term after this one Tumblr post from a football player who was talking about, this one time, at practice, the coach said, now look, you need to start working on throwing the ball straight. And he just kind of, instinctively responded, I'm having trouble being straight, sir. And the coach just kind of stood there for a second. Just throw the damn ball.
At least you didn't yell at him,
Yeah, but, that's kind of just, incidental closet jettison. It wasn't intentional, but you are no longer in the closet.
Yeah. I like that coach, though. Just throw the damn ball. My line?
Yeah.
Did I finish my line or something? Or?
No, I finished my line. Oh, wait, no, I didn't finish my line. I kind of broke when it was, he wanted to call Green, so he did. What's up, Tom? Green asked when he answered. Hey, sorry, I didn't get to talk to you when the bodies were discovered, Tom admitted. No, it's no trouble. Oh, that's work for you, honestly, Green responded reassuringly. Anyway, what's on your mind? I want to ask you a question about the bodies, Tom began.
When you had all the autopsies performed, was there anything in the reports about their body weight?
Oh my god.
There might be. I'll have Sarah bring the autopsy report real quick, Green answered, and then asked, why do you ask? Did you find something that might help us?
Also, I swear at the beginning of that paragraph that you were in full Star Kits mode.
I was?
When?
So, no, here's the thing. Star Kid's Prophecy is my therapy for this fucking thing, okay?
Yeah.
I am only getting through this because of Star Kid's fucking Prophecy.
Yeah. Oh, God. But just when?
When?
Like, I was not expecting you to say it like that.
I want to Star Kid Prophecy-rize this whole story, because then it'd be a lot better.
Oh, my God. Oh God, they're fucking doing the whole soul thing. God damn it. Sure thing. What is it? Well, when I was looking up old news articles about the murders you covered, Tom explained, I found a couple articles about some wackadoo cult. Said they founded sometime around the time the murders happened. Is that true?
Cults? Ah, Green responded. His voice sounded like he knew exactly what Tom was talking about. I had a feeling you'd come across that. Yeah, sometime after maybe the first 5 or 6 murders, the group started popping up all over the media. A bunch of psychotic oddballs, but they don't seem crazy enough to warrant an arrest compared to this case. Though I have my suspicions about them. They call themselves the Cult of X. Tom froze. Surely he didn't hear Green right. I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Tom spoke breathlessly. What did you say they were called? The Cult of X. Derek confirmed it in response.
Okay, one shitty cult name.
Yeah. The Cult of X gonna give it to you.
Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real with the non-stop pop, stainless steel, break bread with the enemies, and when you hand me cats, I break bread with, I break who you sending me. First we're gonna rock, then we're gonna roll, then we let it pop, go, let it go. X gonna give it to you, you gonna give it to you.
I could just picture Green investigating the cult, and then Mr. X just kicks down the door.
You just hear in the back, like, as he's like he's finally tracked him down, and he's like sneaking through like their base of operations, and then just as he's getting toward the door, you just hear lightly in the background like dun dun da 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 dun 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 before the door's just fucking kicked open. It flies off its fucking hinges.
You have overdue library books!
I know you're just looking at the pictures. The joys of magic. Or no, what was it? It was like magic for party tricks or something like that.
Yeah.
I just like to look at the pictures. Damn it.
I want to try something like that one day.
Honestly, that just reminded me of the fact that the crossover for Resident Evil 2 and Monster Hunter World came out on PC. I mean, not on PC. It finally came out for Xbox.
Ah.
And like the thing that made or like console, not just Xbox. And the thing that makes me laugh is that the way they have the zombie mechanic work is with the Valhazak's effluvium breath, where instead of having it to where it gives you the effluvium debuff, it turns you into a zombie. And the way that it works is that your mobility is decreased, you're incapable of dodge rolling, and you can't use healing items. However, you have a continuous health regen. So literally, like in the Rotten Vale, you can run through the pools of acid without taking damage.
Nice.
And the only way to heal the condition is with green herbs.
Just straight up herb?
Like, that's the whole thing in Resident Evil. You have green herbs, red herbs, blue herbs.
I know, like, but you just eat the herbs instead of the potions?
Yeah, literally, like, health potions don't work. Like, any potions don't work. So all you can do is you collect green herbs. Not herbs, right. Green herbs. They're specifically called green herbs, and they don't look like the regular herbs.
Oh, that's good. So
you collect those, and you have to eat them to get rid of the debuff. But at the same time, You have continuous health regen.
It's just a matter of, are you good at dodging, or are you not? Because
like it's just a whole thing of making sure that you don't get hit.
yeah, which is hard without a dodge.
Because I was watching Pro and Noob, and they were like, "Why would I ever not want to be a zombie?" As they're fighting it.
What are they fighting in that DLC again, or update?
Valhazak. It was the Iceborne's Master Rank Valhazak, so Black Veil Valhazak.
Oh, so all right. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've shown you a picture of that one, but it's basically got like a weird kind of like fungus mold thing growing over its body.
Ah, gross.
Yeah, honestly, it just looks fascinating, and it's also a whole thing of the first time you encounter it is in the ancient forest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
and so you get zombie Jagresses.
Ah, fuck. Alright, though. I don't want too much spoil me for that ice.
Yeah, I'm not going... Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much. There's a reason I haven't mentioned a specific monster at all.
Hey, the only thing I care about there is Nightshade Palumu.
Nightshade Palumu, a.k.a. Sleep Bat.
Sleepy boy. I'm about to steal the fuck out of his armor, too. And I'm only going to wear that ever.
Honestly, I just love Coral Pookie. The fact that he can do a double spray. Like, I don't want to get into it, but one of his attacks, he literally splits a stream of water from him, like that he's launching at you. To do it in two directions.
That's like, incredibly stupid.
He does like the stream of water from his mouth, but then he just like sticks his tongue up into it and it splits. Like, honestly, I have to say, I think my favorite one from Iceborne, like my favorite monster that got thrown in with that is probably Banbaro, just because giant angry moose.
Yeah.
Anyway. Again, a bunch of crazies. It felt like Tom's brain was going numb. That doesn't seem too outside of his normal behavior in this story.
Fucking got him!
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He was looking at his own laptop like he was looking at that monster that he had seen once again. He felt his heart pound in shock as realization began to run him over like the world's harshest sledgehammer. Do you often get run over by sledgehammers? I mean, I can't imagine they're the best drivers. Bad joke.
That went over my head completely. I have no idea what you were saying.
He said, began to run him over like the world's harshest sledgehammer.
And I thought sledgehammer was a tool, not a car.
Yeah, it's a tool. So I was just suddenly imagining that someone put a sledgehammer in the driver's seat of a car.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't even start.
It's like run someone over. Like they find the car smashed into a wall and there's just a sledgehammer in the driver's seat. Buckled in. It's like, the actual fuck? Just like authorities on the scene trying to figure out what the fuck they're looking at. Like, that's what popped into my mind.
Yeah.
When Tom spoke up again, his voice was quiet and quivering. X, gonna give it to you. You don't say. Ba-ba-ba-da-da. I don't know what you heard. Something wrong, Tom? Green asked in a tone of concern. Do you hear that music too? It's nothing. Tom clears his throat. I just had a thought, is all. Did Sarah get those reports again?
Reports yet.
Oh, get those reports yet?
Green trailed off before. Ah, yeah. She did. Let's see. Ugh. Wait. Here we go. The latest victim originally weighed 155 pounds before he died How do they know that dread built up within Tom?
Yeah, like
Tom,
how recently was he weighed before he died? Was he at the doctor the day before?
I guess. Did he lose weight or something? Yeah. About 21 grams, actually, Green answered. Tom's breath was shallow. He was in shock. He couldn't believe what he was being told.
How would they be that accurate? Your weight can fluctuate throughout the day based on what you've eaten. Technically speaking, you weigh more when you before you go to bed than you do when you wake up.
Yeah.
Because you put on weight throughout the day from eating and drinking and stuff like that, and then you lose weight during the night because of the fact that, you dehydrate when you sleep. That's just kind of how it is. Water in your mouth and nose evaporates, causing you to lose weight.
About to make a joke about, maybe I should just sleep all the time to lose weight. Haha.
Also, now I'm just, I looked up the little opening thing for X Gonna Give It To You, so I'm just imagining, yeah, don't get it twisted. This rap shit is mine just in the background. Motherfucker, it's not a fucking game. Fuck what you heard. It's what you hearing. What you hearing. It's what you hearing. X Gonna Give It To You. Just as the door, just flies off its hinges and Sonic walks in.
Sonic? Oh god!
That's what the story's about.
I just snorted so loud that in my head it sounded like I tweeted like a bird. Oh god, what did you do to me?
Sonic walks in. X gonna give it to you. I'll wait for you to get it on your own. Oh my god. Fear upon fear, hoping against hope. His next question wasn't answered correctly. He then asked, did all of them lose 21 grams? How the fuck would you be that fucking precise in how much weight they lost between living and dying? Did they all go to the fucking hospital the day before they died? They all just had a habit of weighing themselves daily and writing it down in a fucking journal?
Well, of course, she's the health professor.
This makes me, I guess, just pointlessly angry, because there's no real reason for me to get upset about it, but it's a whole thing of the story is not good enough for me to suspend my disbelief long enough to be like, yeah, it makes sense that they would be able to figure that out. It's just no. How did they? What? He had to sit down as soon as he heard the response. Holy shit, yeah, they all did. Also, if it's on record that they all did, was this not something that was considered a fucking trend? Something like that is very weird and specific.
Yeah.
Also, again, with the whole 21 grams experiment, like I pointed out earlier, desiccation.
Desiccation?
Drying out.
Oh, right, yeah.
Again, water's going to evaporate from any body parts that are moist. And typically when you die, you don't, especially if it's violently. I was saying it's not like you close your eyes beforehand. Also, the fact of how the jaw was treated, and the throat was torn up, there would be blood loss. Therefore, that would also factor into weight loss. So, you'd be looking for more than 21 grams according to the quote-unquote 21 grams experiment.
Yeah.
It's just... Anyway, Green said with surprise, how did you... Part of the research I looked up, Tom interrupted. Are you familiar with a theory called the 21 grams experiment? Theory by Duncan MacDonald in 1907?
He believed the human soul weighed 21 grams, so what does that have to do with this case? Green asked, a tone of doubt in his voice. I'm not 100% sure, Tom answered honestly. I mean, I don't want to assume anything supernatural is happening, but the cult of X you mentioned, I think they have something to do with the murders. That seems like a bit of a serious thought you got there, Tom, Green said, concerned.
Hey, did all of the bodies lose 21 grams of weight? Yeah. Have you heard of the 21 grams experiment? You mean that experiment in which someone believed that the human soul weighed 21 grams? Yeah. Why? Yeah, I have heard of it. What does that have to do with this case in which everyone has lost 21 grams of weight between living and dying? I don't know if that came through on the mic, but I was rapidly facepalming.
I heard it earlier. I thought you were making a joke about something else, though.
No, that was several facepalms in a row.
Ouch, don't do that to yourself, man. This story's
I
not
shouldn't, but I had to do something. Otherwise, I was going to break something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my... Like, what the... Just a little tip to anyone out there, don't make your characters fucking stupid. Like, unless it's a plot point in that they are stupid. Don't. And I don't mean they suddenly become stupid for a plot point to work. No, I mean, unless it is important to the character that they are a fucking idiot. Don't.
Yeah. Please do not.
As the green room, yeah, that one works. The characters not being that smart given the situation, yeah, sure. They pissed off a whole bunch of militaristic skinheads, and now because of since they're just like a punk rock band, they don't really know how to fight for themselves physically. So yeah, it makes sense that they're making dumb decisions. That works. This. Like,
Yeah. You gonna make it, man? Do we need to tap out for a bit?
I can't. I think the name of this episode is just going to be How.
What are we reading? How?
Sonic.exe the Remake, part whatever fucking episode this will be. How?
Yeah.
Do you got any evidence to support that? Not just yet. I'm operating on a hunch. Tom had his eyes.
Oh my fucking god! Show him the X on your goddamn laptop.
Yeah, show him the communication. And again, it's one of those things. If this were operating with a theme of just people not like telling people shit that's important when they should, yeah, sure. That's not what this feels like because the characters are fucking stupid.
I just thought of a horror movie about, like, a being on this level of power or whatever, that goes around murdering people, but he only murders the stupid people and then forces everyone else to go to school.
Oh, God. But yeah, because that's one of those whole things. Like, you could do a story in which one of the whole themes about it is miscommunication and like poor communication or lack thereof. And that can work, provided that it's not a whole thing of just, oh yeah, the characters are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh god. But still, doesn't it seem, it seems weird, doesn't it? I mean, these murders start happening and then suddenly this cult starts showing up. That just seems a bit too coincidental. A brief pause and then Derek spoke up again. Now you mention it, the timing does seem rather odd. Pretty sure part of the job description of a police detective is being able to identify patterns.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Sarah about it and we'll look into it. Trusting you on this theory of yours, Tom. You understand what that might mean, right? Also, why is it that he's like referred to like almost exclusively by Detective Green, and then his sister, also a detective, also technically Detective Green, just Sarah?
Because you can't have both of them be called Detective Green.
Well, if you were going to want to avoid that kind of like confusion, why not just have it to where they're both called Detective and then their first name? Like, his name is Derek, but he's not usually just referred to as Derek or Detective Derek. Like,
nah, I know the perfect way to solve this if they're both Detective Green. We have D Green for, Derek, and Green D for Sarah.
Also, anyone out there, if you have a green D, you should probably seek medical attention.
Unless you're a plant.
In which case, several more questions.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, turn yourself into a science professor or something. A scientist. There are several questions we need answered now.
Hey, Doc, I got some questions for you. See, I photosynthesize, and I'm not sure that's quite right.
Why is there a plant on my doctor? Why is this plant talking to me?
Well, you already said that apparently this plant has a dick, so apparently they look human.
Why is this plant showing me its dick? Wait, why does a plant have a dick?
Now I'm just imagining like a potted plant with a dick.
Oh my gosh, it's just slipping off the side. It's like resting on the side of the edge of the pot.
There's just like a hole cut in the pot.
Oh god.
It looks like someone just like glued a dildo to the side of a potted plant.
You just picture someone trying to take it off and then having the horrible realization that it's actually not glued on.
I mean, it would be really horrible if it was a cactus.
Oh god, no one's gonna touch it then. Except, certain plants and animals that know how to get past that. I know, to be honest, I want to be proven wrong, Tom admitted, genuine worry coming from his voice as he spoke. Something fucking weird's going on here, Detective Green, and I'm starting to worry about the safety of everyone here. Especially my friends. I honestly don't know if I'm going crazy from Kyle being fucking dead or this whole serial killer shit, but I'm starting to get fucking scared. Another pause and the Green responded, his tone more calm, more assuring than it ever was, an almost caring tone.
Okay, 5 people have been murdered on campus, at least by this point. Yeah, that seems about right. You're just starting to get scared. You should have been scared when you ended up finding a victim in your own dorm, like your own like dormitory.
Yeah.
A dead body gets found in the same building you sleep in. That's cause for concern. You should have been scared right then. You should have just now start getting scared.
Oh my god. Sorry. I'm looking at news for Azure Lane, and they just said, by the way, we're going to have a HoloLive Azure Lane collaboration. That means there's going to be fucking virtual YouTubers in fucking Azure Lane.
Oh, no. When I only knew about one virtual YouTuber, it wasn't like a bad thing. It was kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool. Now it's just a whole thing of how fucking many are there?
A shit ton.
Oy.
So there's so many virtual YouTubers that even I am going to become a virtual YouTuber.
Oh dear God. They can't tell if you're serious or not. And that scares me.
I think it would be really funny to learn how to do like a girl's voice and pretend to be a trap. And then right when everyone's expecting me to say something really cute, I just get the deepest voice possible. just to fuck with people. I don't think I could become any sort of YouTuber permanently. Ugh, it's too much work.
I mean, if Tom actually gets around to starting his, you might show up on his. Seems like it'll be just so far it just seems like it's a thing of you popping up on other people's streams and videos.
I really do. I do not have my own channel, but I've been on several different streams and at least 2 different YouTube channels.
I mean, there's a video out there of somewhere of me dancing at a music festival that someone put up, and I've yet to find it, but I know it's out there.
Like one of my best friends tried to make a YouTube channel a while back, but he like forced me to be on camera for it. So there's an actual video of young me playing a fucking like game on like mini clip and like blasting through the first 10 levels like it's nothing.
I don't know why, but honestly, like the first time I'm on camera, like for this channel or for like if Tom starts his channel,
What even is this channel going to be about?
From what he said, it's probably going to be like kind of like a thing of like different video games and such. But he has said that he wants to get some skills at video editing before he does that.
Oh yeah, fuck! Now you remind me of what I want to do on YouTube.
Oh dear.
A waifu review channel.
Oh god.
But it'd be something really dumb, like Rim and Ram. I'd say that the unpopular one was more popular on purpose.
So basically, just the whole thing of the entire thing being satire.
Yeah, or like I do a review of an entire series, and then the one girl I didn't mention at the very end, I'd say she's the best.
I don't know
like
why. I'm just
all the females of One Piece, and then being all right, and that's why Shirahoshi's the best wife.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining like you doing that thing, and like you eventually get to Sword Art Online, and it's just you calling Asuna a great waifu, just the entire time, and it's just like, oh no.
I'd make so many people mad.
I'm not gonna lie, if you do that, I would be stoked to do like voice acting for that if you need anything of the sort.
Wait, is Asuna okay? I thought Asuna was his weird sister.
No, it's not the sister. Although of course that was fucking in there.
I would say the sister's the best wife at the end.
Oh god. The horse is revived. Long beat the horse.
Oh my gosh, you just reminded me of a fucking hentai I read about Sword Art Online. And for some reason, I forgot the context, but all the girls were just kind of standing there naked, trying to get like Kirito or whatever the fuck the main character's name, like attention or whatever.
Oh god.
And his sister's there too, and she's fucking naked, and she says, "I'm his sister, so he'll come to me."
No.
And I was like, "Oh god, what the fuck am I reading?"
Oh god. I mean, it's bad enough that the writer for Sword Art Online is not a very good writer. Like, I don't know. Have you checked up? Have you like watched any of the stuff of like the base? I think it's called the Basement Reading Club that Mother's Basement has started up.
No, but I probably should.
Because it's a whole thing. It was a thing done a while back. Because basically, like a rewrite of Sword Art Online started like happening. And so, like, the first, light novel format, and, like, the first issue for it came out, and he was reading, it's like, I mean, it's better than it was originally, but it's still not very good.
Yeah. Because
a lot of the stuff in there, it makes no sense, and is just done for the sake of the trope. Like, why the fuck would one of the characters in this video game universe need an underwear drawer? Why would that not just be in their inventory? So that we can have a scene in which Kirito goes through Asuna's underwear.
I can think of really superficial reasons. 1, limited inventory space. 2, you can only keep one of your inventory at a time. 3, they're all her old ones with bad stats, but no one wants to buy them.
Her underwear with bad stats?
Yes. I would honestly make that a thing in a video game. There'd just be a moment where people were talking about, like,
have it to where it's all charisma buffs.
Yeah, or... yes, that would be good. That would be good. Yeah, I don't have a better idea for that, but yes, it probably would be a charisma buff.
Like, that would be, like, charisma and possibly something like endurance based on the idea of comfort.
I was gonna say maybe magic too.
Oh god, something like... I guess, yeah, technically you could also add magic, but I'm just imagining, like, it's a really shitty pair of underwear, like, horribly uncomfortable, so your endurance is shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're trying to do, like, all this acrobatic shit, but because of how how poorly fitted they are, you can't pull it off properly.
Yep. So that's why you need good underwear in this game.
I mean, it's fucking stupid, but that's also funny. But again, like, it's the whole thing of, like, okay, put that in a chest, and then you, like, since it's a video game, like, why would you need to have it to where they're tactile things that you grab and, pick up? Why would you need to shower? Why would there...
like I said though, it just seems like it'd be the easiest excuse would be limited inventory space, but I don't really know how inventory works in Sword Art.
That's not even getting into the fact that the menu system for Sword Art Online, while it is visually kind of interesting, is fucking terrible.
Isn't that how people didn't people hurt other people with that too while they were sleeping?
Well, part of the whole thing is that for a virtual thing, it's a gesture-based drop-down menu.
Yeah? Yeah, no, ugh.
With something that you use your mind to control. Like, why would you need to do that? You could just think and, oh, hey, like, oh, okay, I need this thing for my menu. Thanks a bit. Here we go.
I think there might need to be some gestures, because if you just randomly thought about it, you know.
Well, I guess it's the whole thing, though, of, like, at least have it to where it's, like, a whole thing of, like, when you think about getting it, like, okay, if you want to have it to where it's less of a whole issue of accidentally summons things from your inventory, have it to where it's, like, you reach into your pocket thinking about the thing that you need.
You just made me think of something really stupid.
What?
A guy or girl, I don't really care who, just see someone who's really attractive looking walking into, like, the game bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And they think about, like, maybe they're scantily clad, right?
Yeah.
So they're thinking about underwear. So, like, suddenly half of, like, the bar, like, their inventory comes up and it's showing just their underwear section.
Also, another thing that was brought up that actually would have been kind of interesting exploration that probably would never happen in an isekai thing, was the whole thing. In Sword Art Online, it was basically the whole thing of you create your character, and then what ended up happening when everyone got trapped in the game is suddenly everyone's character became an exact copy of their physical body, right?
Right.
Someone in the basement book club, not the basement reading, the basement book club, brought up kind of an interesting thing that would have been a interesting thing to explore, and that would have been like how someone, like, say, a trans person would have how that would have affected, say, a trans person. So, like, you're using this game, say they were using this game as kind of an outlet to explore that aspect of that themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, this shit happens, and they're stuck in what's basically their biological body.
Oof.
Just think about that. Like, that's an interesting subject.
That'd be really... I feel sorry for those guys. They're stuck in their biological one?
Yeah, it's the whole thing of, like, oh, well, this game, this game has it to where it's not just me, like, controlling a character. It's the fact that I basically am this person. I am physically controlling them entirely. So, like, yeah, like, do that sort of thing. Like, maybe they're pre-transition. Like, They are out of the closet trans, but they're pre-transition. So, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know Japan has, like, a strained relationship with the LGBT to begin with. But I have found different stuff, like media from there, like exploring gender, like exploring stuff like the whole trans thing. It does fucking exist.
Things that take it unseriously, where it's just a bunch of perverted boys turning into women.
Yeah, and then there's the stuff that just completely is just like just a fucking.
Oh my gosh, what month is like set aside for LGBTQ or TQ or whatever?
I believe it's June.
Okay, an entire month dedicated instead of to waifus, but to husbandos.
I don't know why, but for some reason, LGBT History Month is no wait, that's
Gay Pride
October. Okay. Pride Month. Pride Month is what I was looking for. June. Okay. Yeah. Pride Month is in June, but History Month was October. I'm gonna have to fucking remember that now.
Yeah.
Not only are we getting spooky, but we're getting gay.
The spookiest thing of all.
Also, I don't know why, but I just imagined for like that June thing. For that like Pride Month thing, just like the first two is just like me and Tom. Just like the stupidest inside joke you could possibly do.
Oh, for like the
The
husbando of the
husbando
month.
thing.
Husbando's review. Tom and Llytic. Tom is a very sweet and nice boy. You'll like him. 10 out of 10. Llytic, he's an alien troll, I think. He's also kind of mean.
He's mean, but he's sometimes funny, so that gives him a 0.5 out of 10.
Exactly.
But at the same time, he also does have a nice jawline.
Yes. But he's also really tall.
So if you're willing to overlook personality
and the fact that he's not human, then again, I'd probably have an entire month dedicated to Monster Girl, so I have no reason to talk.
Well, yeah.
I'd probably have Nepta as best Homestuck girl. I have really weird taste.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know why, but I was just suddenly imagining, like doing, oh god. Because there's also the whole thing when it comes to Japan of the whole stereotype of the trap, and we've talked about this before, of the whole thing is that the way that the term is used in the West isn't quite right, because of the fact that, one, the term used is the kind of thing that implies that people go out cross-dressing to trick men into being gay. Which... No?
People really just think it's all about them.
Yeah, but there's all, because literally in Japan, the word is just cross-dress. The word literally just translates to cross-dressing man.
Yeah.
But there's also the whole thing of, are traps gay? Well, do they identify as male? Then yes. If they identify as female, then it's just a trans woman, and no, that's not gay. Sure, she got a dick, but that shit ain't gay.
So when you say trans beforehand, so a trans male is someone...
Trans male is someone who is biologically female who identifies as male.
Hold on, my mic's breaking up. Give me a second.
Yeah, I noticed that. I can hear you good now, though.
So you said that if it's a trans woman, it's someone who identifies as a male or was male?
No. Trans male is someone who's biologically female who identifies as male. Trans female is someone who's biologically male who identifies as female.
All right.
Yeah. When you broke up, I thought you said male, not female.
Oh, my bad then.
So that was my mistake.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah, that's basically the way it works.
Yeah, I gotta put stuff in the dryer real quick, so...
Alright.
Yeah. We've been doing this for like an hour, and we've barely got halfway through.
Yeah. But basically, if they identify as female, then it ain't gay. Don't matter if they got a dick.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that due to like different hormones that are often taken by pre- and mid-transitioning trans people, it's also entirely different.
Yeah.
ContraPoints actually did have a little discussion on this on a video she did called, I think it was actually called Are Traps Gay? Which, if you don't know ContraPoints, trans woman. But she straight up said, well, yeah, but a trans woman's dick isn't exactly the same as a man's dick. On account of like how that sort of stuff works.
Yeah. I can just picture myself falling in love with a girl, and then she's just like, I'm sorry, but I identify as a male. And then me just going, fuck! I'm not gay, so I guess we have to break up.
Jesus Christ.
Just like, I respect your decision, but I can't be with you anymore. I'm not gay, okay? I know we fucked in the past, but now that you're a man, that's pretty gay, and that's not me.
I mean, I do kind of, like, get that whole sort of thing. I mean, that's better. I guess that's somewhat better than the whole thing of dating a girl, then finding out that she's trans, like, that she's a trans woman, and breaking it off there because they used to be a man.
My mom was like, listen, son, this is how it's probably going to go down. If you just met them and you figured out they're trans right away, you're not going to date them. But if you've been dating them for a couple years, and that's when you figure out, yeah, it's kind of, scummy, but you're not going to break up with them. At this point, you love them.
The fact that just assumed Yeah, if you know they're trans in the first place.
No. Like if they tell you early on, kind of thing. I ad-libbed the shit out of that. My mom's a lot better with these kind of things than my dad, as you probably can tell.
Yeah, but that's still kind of one of those whole things of like a lot of people like if you're on Tinder or whatever, like that's the whole sort of thing of like why a lot of the people kind of stay in the closet about it or whatever, because they're afraid that if they're just like, yeah, I used to be a man, then it's going to cause some problems.
Let me see if I can remember the context I was talking to my mom about it. Because what I think it was is that what I pretty much said is I would only be interested in a woman if it's, she's sexually reproductive. And mom's just
God.
My mom literally looked at me and said, that's going to bite you in the ass when you end up dating someone who has problems down there. So my mom shut me up pretty quickly that way.
Yeah.
And then she went on, it's just like, listen, if you love someone and they're trans and, you haven't figured out, but you've been dating or married for a long time, you're not going to break up with them. You love them, even if they're trans. It's just,
Yeah. Honestly, it's already
my mom
weird
pretty
enough.
much just told me, like, bitch, shut up.
Honestly, it's already kind of weird enough that you used to have that mentality. Maybe it's the fact that I just really don't like kids.
I was 10 years old, probably around the time when I was thinking stuff like this. Like, I was very, very young, and I don't really remember what the context was. But my mom pretty much just told me, don't go around with that kind of mentality, kid. Shut up.
Well, yeah, that's also the kind of mentality that you see in a lot of incels, weird.
Yeah, like I said, I'm like one angry, date away from being an incel. I'm not about to act like... Honestly, I've never dated anyone, so I can't be a nice guy, but like, I don't know. Maybe if I've dated...
It has to be a pretty terrible date for that to have happened.
Yeah.
Well, you see, she set me on fire.
So
honestly, this is just women's fault.
It's not because I insulted her.
What did you do before she set you on fire? Okay, well, maybe I negged her, but... several times. But hey, I was reading The Game by Neil Strauss, and it told me to.
That name sounds familiar. Who is this?
One of those fucking... he's a former, quote-unquote, pickup artist. He more recently wrote a book called The Truth, in which he was like, yeah, no, when I was doing the whole pickup artist thing, I was in a fucking bad place relationship-wise and taking out my aggression on women when that really wasn't the problem. And honestly, this whole mentality of you need to insult women to make yourself attractive to them is just really fucking toxic and needs to stop.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah.
I don't really get why anyone would think any... You know what, never mind. I insult a lot of my friends when we get along, so I can see why people would think that.
The idea with that sort of thing isn't just like friendly ribbing. It's a whole thing of, you need to lower her self-esteem so she's more likely to see you as a viable partner.
What?
Yes.
But they're insult... Why would you be with...
This is why you never neg someone. Because it's a fucking dickbag thing to do. And if anyone listening had to be told that...
Oof.
Dumbass.
Don't worry, I'm sure that like 3 people that actually constantly watch this content are very good people. All of you. Very lovely.
You have more faith in the human race than I do. Then again, you're part of it, so maybe you have to.
And I'm also kind of humanist in my beliefs. I believe people are born good. It's just, the world that makes them shitty.
Where the fuck are we?
Let's see.
Did you finish your paragraph?
We were talking... last joke I remember about this was the 50% power thing before we went off this tangent, so I think it's Tom, Roger, and Mike thing.
Oh, okay. I think you finished the "I want to be proven wrong" paragraph.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was the whole thing about, like, why the fuck are you just now being scared? Anyway, Tom, please calm down. I know you're afraid right now, but you need to be strong, especially for your friends.
That's the cop's job.
I, 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 is it just because he's the main character?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he supposed to be the strongest of his friends? I'll get to the bottom of this for you. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say main character.
Oh, God. But I promise you, I'm gonna find this guy, and I'm gonna stop him. That calmed Tom down significantly. Green's words renewed his confidence in the detective. Deep breaths, he said in a breath of relief. All right, thank you, detective. You're welcome. I gotta get going. Call me if anything happens. I will, again, thanks. See ya. With that, he and Green hung up.
Tom sat back on his couch trying to collect his thoughts. It was all starting to make sense now. There was a killer going around brutally murdering people and somehow getting away with it. How was he killing people? Somehow, as ridiculous as Tom perceived it, he was stealing their souls. He couldn't figure out how the killer was doing it, but somehow it involved forcing open their jaws to the point of breaking and their insides getting ruptured.
Well, clearly this is the fuck. I was gonna make a joke about like fucking kappas, and because Sega being Japanese in origin, and the whole thing is that kappas would rip out people's souls through their anus because in old Japanese folklore, your soul was in this little thing called which roughly translated to a butt ball. The term for it roughly translated to butt ball.
Yeah.
Which was the easiest way to get to it was through Uranus. So it's like, well, clearly he's not truly part of Sega, because otherwise he'd be getting their souls out through their ass.
Yeah, it's just the only reason I know that exists is because of Monster Prom.
Is that mentioned in that?
Yes, there's in the fucking DLC update. There's a Kappa or whatever.
Okay.
And at one point he's just like, "Listen, give me your soul, your butt ball soul." Depending on one of the answers, I think everyone starts to figure out their souls are in their butts, and they start wearing them around their necks or something. It's really weird.
I'm going to fist your soul.
It was better than my joke. I was going to say this is clearly the power of the enemy stand.
Oh, god damn it. I mean, granted, the only reason I know it is because of that I keep looking up different stuff involving mythologies around the world to the point to where I just know a whole bunch of just weird shit.
I have a Darkest Dungeon mod called Sunset Isles or something like that, and there's Kappas in there, and they're one of the out of all the enemies in there, it's the one that annoys me the most because they play like supports.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing I remember about Kappas from mythology is that they're a bunch of assholes.
Well, yeah, and I think they're an asshole in this game too.
Because like one of the things they're known for is upskirts. Because apparently Japan's always been like that.
That's just depressing.
Yes, there's actually one yokai that watches people in the bathroom. Not like the usual thing of just a bathroom yokai, like the fucking fuck, I forgot its name, but its actual name, but it translates to like filth licker. And so the whole thing is it just like licks the walls and floors of bathrooms, and that's how it eats. But it's literally like this one yokai that its whole thing that it does is watches people through the windows of bathrooms.
Wow.
And the whole thing is that its design, it's like something nyodo, which means, I believe monk?
Oh.
Or like noble or some shit? So it's like, oh, so that likely means that there were a bunch of like fucking like nobles or monks or whatever just watching people in the bathroom.
Yep. Gross. Incredibly gross.
That
just sounds nasty.
Yeah, apparently Japan's always had a weird relationship with sex.
God damn it. I'm sorry. I don't know how to respond to this.
I mean, looking at modern media as well as shit like that.
Yeah.
It's not really a hard conclusion to draw.
Yep.
Anyway, Fuck.
Yeah. Off topic again.
Oh, wait, no, it's my line. How is he getting away with it? He never had to enter or leave the crime scene. There's no sign of breaking or entering. However, there are different ways to get around this. For instance, if you forged a copy of the key, like to the front door, that could work. As well as, there's bound to be a few different ways to like just jimmy locks open, like with a window. Which, granted, that might leave marks. Same with like using a credit card on a gap in a door. But again, like my immediate thought was, okay, is he making duplicate keys? Is he... Does he just have a really high dex stat and he's sneaking in behind the person as they open the door? It's also a whole thing of there's ways to like get into people's houses. Like there's reasons why there are stories out there like that have actually happened of people finding out that someone has been secretly living in their house for years.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. He was always already there. Again, I would have immediately assumed the key thing. And that was how he had gotten away with killing all those people. Kyle and those who died at the college. All the murders that were taking place in the college all started with Kyle's death. Yeah, college dorms. I don't know about you, but when I was staying in the dorms, while you had to have a key card to get into the dorm, all you had to have was a lock. I mean, it was a key. Also, fucking lock picking.
Yeah.
But on top of that, to get into the dorm itself, I mean, granted, this was more just with the dorm I stayed at. All you really had to do was climb a wall. And there were different ways that you could do that. Because it was the whole... with the one I was staying at, it was basically like a ring of rooms and then a central courtyard.
Yeah.
Now, I think with the one you stayed at, not that case. But
nope.
I'd imagine that there were still ways to get in with that. Honestly, all you had to be doing was looking like you belonged there with that dorm. Because if you were walking like you were heading to go in there and someone, like behind someone, more likely than not, like once they unlocked the door and opened it, they would likely hold it open for you.
People always said they were missing their, like, people would quote unquote forget their keys and people would let them in anyways.
Yeah. Or say that you're going to meet someone.
Yeah.
Like, it's
simple to get in there, yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. And these are just spitball things off the top of our heads. Like, and again, that's what happened. That's not what's happening here. But these are things that can be done.
Yep.
Oh, God. Hell, you could easily have, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how thorough they were with questioning witnesses or anything, but I'm pretty sure that if you told someone, like, behind one of the desks that you were, like, family of one of the people in the rooms, like, you made sure to mention them by name or whatever, and you weren't shit at lying, you could have gotten into that room.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I'm like the brother of so-and-so. I have some stuff that he left at our folks' home that, you know, I just need to put in his room. I was told by mom and dad that this needs to, that they want this stuff sent to him, so I'm here to do that.
And yeah, they'd probably just
now the way I said it. What?
Yeah, that would work. That's the thing.
Yeah, like now, if the person behind the counter happens to have the number of that person, then they probably call them. But if they don't, good chance they don't. They'd have no way to confirm or deny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which, granted, I probably didn't say it as convincingly as it could have been.
In that situation here.
Yeah. But, like, that sort of thing, it's... Like, I know it's fucked up, but there are plenty of ways around this sort of shit.
But they don't.
Oh, God. All the murders that were taking place in the letter that came with the game disc, Tom had realized, was not written by Kyle. He had to assume it was done by the Cult of X, the fanatic group that suddenly appeared as the murders started many months back, which meant Kyle had to have gotten the game from the cult somehow, albeit unwittingly. Did it say that he bought it off, like, online? Did it say that he bought it online?
The game, or?
Yes. Like Kyle bought it online.
Yes, Kyle bought it off Amazon.
That it's just be complete fucking coincidence. Why did you assume that the cult gave it to him when he expressly mentioned that, hey, I bought this game offline, I'm gonna play it?
I don't know.
My fucking God. Anyway. The X.
The X of the cult. Tom was sure was the same X as the icon on his desktop. He should have told that to Green, and then the same as the X written onto the game's disc. Should have told Green. X. Tom whispered. He grunted in frustration as he clutched his head. It ached as more unanswered questions formed in his head. The idea of a video game being taken around stealing people's souls was beyond anything Tom could accept as rational for a murder case. Tom stopped and then slowly looked up at his laptop, and then he began to harvest a very dangerous thought. Maybe he'd get some answers by confronting the killer himself. Tom could feel every second of hesitation as he sat down, eyes locked down on his closed laptop. God, you're stupid.
That's not even, like, again, this sort of situation, why are you assuming that souls are being stolen? The 21-gram experiment wasn't conclusive. This is like those fucking people that say that the whole fucking inside voice thing, that the inside voice study proves that the majority of people don't have critical thinking, and then and so they use that as a justification to just go around and start calling people NPCs because they don't agree with them. I think I mentioned this before, but you actually can email the person who did that study, and he'll straight up tell you, it has nothing to fucking do with that. It's just that the majority of people, when they think things, aren't doing it in a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, usually when I think things, it's typically more of a feeling, or images.
Guess that's different from thinking to yourself, right?
Yeah, well, like, even then, like, thinking to myself, like, it's usually not coherent sentences or voices. Like, unless I'm specifically thinking about dialogue or conversation, it's not. I'm just thinking about things.
Yeah.
Just be images. Like, sounds, shit like that, not necessarily voices.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, even then, if it does end up being voices, typically I'm actually just straight up talking to myself.
Yeah.
Like, but because of what that study said, and because of some fucking 4chaner who was like, I kind of have a theory that reincarnation is real, but due to the fact that there are so many more people than there used to be, there aren't enough souls for everyone. A whole bunch of fucking idiots suddenly decided that means that, like, the majority of people are non-critically thinking masses, that they're the special ones by being quote-unquote countercultural and not buying into this liberal bullshit.
Yeah.
God. Anyway.
Yeah.
Did you finish your line?
Did I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You mentioned the closed laptop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It had remained shut down since the creature tried to grab him and his friends back in the anime club room. His heart pounding, he felt like he was preparing to open Pandora's box. But taking in a deep breath, Tom opened up his laptop and turned it on. He audibly groaned in shock and outrage when he saw the two things on his desktop. First was the X icon on the center of his screen.
It had certainly grown noticeably larger this time. He was sure of it. A large, dark, cracked X-shaped fissure. The second thing Tom spotted was the battery power was at 3%. God fucking damn it! Tom shouted in anger at the laptop like he was actually speaking to the creature that was hiding inside of it.
Frustrated.
Never a problem.
Yeah, sorry.
Cursing is never the answer, Tom.
I fucking disagree. Frustrated, he yanked the charger off of Kyle's laptop, now at 53% power, and jammed the charger into his own to charge it back up. The one fucking time I actually wanted to face you, dick. He jumped back from his chair and stormed out of the room, leaving the laptop to let it charge back up and for him to cool off.
Tom, Roger, and Mike were sitting in the cafeteria during lunch. Tom explained to them both what was going on and what had happened and what he had pieced together. Whoa. Dude, what the hell are you smoking? Mike exclaimed, dumbfounded. I ain't smoking anything, dumbass, he retorted.
I mean, so far, Mike's the most sensible person here because Tom suddenly assumed that this has anything to do with souls.
Yep.
I think that Sonic, that thing that we saw in the anime club, I think that's who's been killing everyone. God damn. Well, when you bring in the timing of it all, the cult, not Kyle's letter, and how easily the psycho is getting away with killing everyone, it actually does seem to make sense. I mean, granted, sure, you did have Sonic pull a fucking Videodrome and reach out of the screen, but with the fact that everyone's just all sort of like, oh, back to normal.
Yeah.
Roger said, clearly thinking it over. Jesus, he's been killing right under our noses and nobody even suspected. Roger, check yourself.
Yeah.
I'm about to smack a bitch up.
Go ahead, dude.
I'm gonna reach into a piece of fiction and smack a bitch. Oh, God. Man, fuck that, Mike scoffed. I'll believe.
I'll believe Sonic is trying to steal people's souls when I actually see it. I mean, we don't know how he's doing it. I know, and that's what worries me, Tom replied, concerned. We have an inhuman killer in this college, and we've no clue what he's capable of. Think we should tell somebody about this? Roger asked. Oh, and what makes us all look like a bunch of crazies? Mike asked back. Well, I bet you people would start thinking we're the killer. I wouldn't worry about that, honestly, Roger quietly said. It seems like less and less students are coming to class. He gestured all around the cafeteria, prompting Mike and Tom to look around. Tom was rather surprised he hadn't noticed it, but indeed.
Okay, first things first. Did you expect to ever have to read that sentence at the beginning there?
Let's see. No, I did not.
Second, I don't know. Get in touch with the IT department. Tell them that there has been a bit of malware spreading around under the name of Sonic.exe, and that if they end up getting something with that file name, do not open it and delete it off their computer.
Yeah, delete it.
If you tell them that, hey, there's this bit of malware, it's causing these problems, something needs to be done. I'm not the only person who's dealt with this. Don't mention the fucking murders. Just make it to where people, like, the fucking word gets spread around, like, it gets sent on, like, the college emails of, hey, there's this bit of malware that's popped up on campus.
Yeah.
If you find if you are prompted to download a file with this name, don't.
Yeah.
If you already have that file, get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there's a chance that IT won't spread it, but at least you're trying something.
Yeah.
The number of students present to the cafeteria seemed to have reduced. Gee, it's almost like 5 murders happened on campus.
Yeah, crazy how that be, but it do, am I right?
Tom did a head count to confirm it. How small is the cafeteria to where you could just easily do a head count?
See, he's treating this like a school.
Is this a community college? If so, why are there dorms? I don't think... correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure community colleges don't have dorms.
Pretty sure they don't either.
Yeah, because they're just a small local thing. They wouldn't have the funding for that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're at a club, or maybe they're sick. Mike, you better fucking hope you're right about that, or I swear to God, someday I'm gonna strangle... What the... Tom said in his most serious tone as he did another head count. The head counting was immediately cut short the minute he saw Vicky running toward them. Hey, Vic's coming, guys.
Oh, not Vic the dick. This prompted Mike to shoot back up to greet her. Hey, baby, what's? His voice falters when he sees the look of worry on her exhausted face. She looks at the trio. I can't find Elena anywhere. She gasps in desperation. What? Tom asked, standing up as well. You serious? Roger asked. Yes, I went to her room to come visit her, and she was gone, Vicky shouted.
I don't know why. When you said Atlanta, my first thought was the Greek, the Greek character Atalanta. I can't find Atalanta anywhere. Oh, she's probably just fucking... she and her husband are probably just fucking in one of Zeus's temples, and now they're lions. My favorite thing is that the Greeks at the time thought that lions could only reproduce with leopards, not other lions.
Ah.
And so that the punishment in that was supposed to be that they couldn't be together anymore.
Ah.
Honestly, if you want to see something kind of entertaining, look at overly sarcastic productions like Miscellaneous Myths things on Atalanta, because they actually do have like an interesting interpretation of the end. Because the whole thing in it is that basically, because of the fact that it's ancient Greece and sexist as hell, and she is very much a very capable warrior, better than the majority of men that she's around. Quite possibly she was raised by wolves, I don't quite remember.
Wolves?
Yeah. But like the whole thing is that she was like, alright, fuck it. All you thirsty motherfuckers won't leave me alone, so how about we do this? Anyone who can win a foot race against me can marry me, but if you lose, I'm going to kill you. And so several people died until eventually this one kid who fell in love with her, went to go talk to Aphrodite to see if he could have her blessing to try this. And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. I like your spunk, kid. Because Aphrodite is either punishing people for daring to be considered more beautiful than her, or a just complete and total shipper. Yeah, there's no in between. Which makes sense considering the fact that she seems to be derived from the fertility/war goddess Ishtar, but that's a completely different story.
Yeah.
But basically she was like, all right, so I'm going to help you out. So here's these 3 golden apples. The whole thing is in the myth, basically what happened, which the whole thing is Atalanta saw this kid and was like, okay, you're young, you don't have to do this, just stop, turn back now, so you don't die.
Yeah.
And basically what happened in the race is at different intervals, he just fucking chucked one of the golden apples, and she just kind of like doubled back, grabbed it, and came back to hand it to him. Because of the fact that she's fast as fuck. So, like, even with that detour, she was still keeping pace until she lost the fight. Until she lost the race, and so ended up marrying him. And honestly, I like overly sarcastic production's whole take on is like, you know, one of the ways that this could be taken, and honestly, my personal favorite interpretation is that she purposely threw the race because it just so happened that this guy was like really good looking, and she just really didn't want him to die. That way it also has it to where she still has agency in the story. It's not a whole thing of her just being forced into this relationship, which, again, that sort of thing, that works a lot better. If you have it to where it's like, fuck, I don't want to kill this guy, he's hella cute.
Homie's hella cute, I can't kill him. Damn, he cute.
Which, honestly, I do kind of prefer that interpretation, because that is kind of funny, just like, dude, you dropped this!
Imagine being so hella cute that somebody doesn't want to kill you.
Someone who has killed several people before.
Yeah.
Several. Because fuck ancient Greece.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking sexism. Just horrific.
Wow, so it's like it's an old society that, you know.
Yeah, it's an old society, and honestly, whenever the Spartans are considered to be the most progressive, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, sure, women were given the right to vote, but also at the same time, a Spartan wedding was a kidnapping.
Oh, shit.
I'm not kidding. Granted, Spartan women were encouraged to carry knives on them.
Man.
So the whole thing is if you attempted that, she could just fucking stab you to death. But at the same time, that also kind of promotes the viewpoint of, you got to marry her because you managed to overpower her.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know?
That's not sus at all.
Yeah, suddenly the fact that the Amazons basically only ever, had sex with people that they utterly beat the shit out of on the battlefield doesn't seem as terrible. It's still fucked up. Because, yeah. But at the same time, it's still a whole thing of, that has to knock someone down a few pegs.
Look at all these pretty ladies. I'm gonna woo them and be, oh god, stop, please! They're beating the shit out of me! Help!
I actually found out that apparently the way that the Amazon River got its name is because the person who named it got the shit kicked out of them by some, by a warrior woman, a group of warrior women from the area. So it's warrior women, kind of like the Greek Amazons.
Yeah.
Just name it after that. So apparently there were actually warrior women in South America, in Brazil or whatever at the time.
What happened to them?
Conquistadors.
Oh, right.
The people who basically just decided, I'm going to murder in the name of God so I can get money.
Yeah, I had a moment where I kind of paused, wait, you know what? Actually, that makes sense.
Yeah. There's a reason why one of my stories, one of the villains is actually a conquistador turned vampire. And so he is just, this utter shitbag.
Ah.
But at the same time, you do kind of feel sorry for him because he's now in modern day and has been, in a state of suspended animation since the fucking, colonialist era.
Oh, God.
So he is completely unfamiliar, but at the same time, total fucking shitbag.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you think she's? Don't think that Vicky. Tom stopped her.
Sorry, Vicky. You can't think.
Sorry, Vicky. You're not allowed to have negative thoughts. Only I am. Because I am main character. We'll find her. Come on. He starts running. His friends immediately fall. I'm just imagining it this fucking cabin. Because I'm imagining the dorm specific one at our university. So I'm just imagining a group of people standing up for one of those fucking tables and fucking booking it.
Yeah.
Just everyone else what the fuck? Just god damn it. Mm-hmm. Wait, will we get in trouble for being out of what?
Nani? What?
Only if you miss too many. How the fuck do you think college works?
Who knows?
Attendance is one of those things that only really causes a problem for you if you miss so many classes that you basically aren't taking the class.
Yeah.
In which case you fail. You just flunk the fucking class.
Yep.
Vicky asked worriedly. Fuck rules. The only way this makes any fucking sense is if these are all college freshmen and so they're still in that fucking high school mentality of, oh shit, fucking truancy is a real thing that we gotta make sure not to do.
Yeah.
Tom shouted, they don't mean shit when your life's a teacher. That is such a fucking stupid, meant to be cool line.
Yeah. Is it my line though?
Yes.
Tom and his friends. Yep, Tom and his friends searched through Elena's room to look for anything that could explain her disappearance, but unfortunately they couldn't find anything. think, Vic. Where else could Elena be? Tom asked Vicky. She put her hand on her chin in deep thought, and then, oh, she always liked to hang out around in the computer lab. With that, they ran down the hall to look for the computer lab. Tom prayed that they didn't find Elena's that they found Elena there safe and sound, and his worries were. He thought he saw something small and blue in the window of one of the classroom doors. Oh God! It's the sky.
Dun 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 dun. Fuck what you heard. It's what you're hearing. It's what you're hearing. It's what you're hearing. For a split second, he thought that it was that Sonic doll smiling from behind the window, but as soon as he slowed down and turned his head to see, it was gone. As if it had slipped out of view. Trying to keep it out of his mind, Tom continued running with his friends. Eventually, they found part of the computer lab. It was empty, quiet. The lights turned off, and all the computers turned on, and the screens all glowing brightly in the dark room.
Spooky.
Scary.
Skeletons.
Send.
Shivers.
Down.
Your.
Spine.
I think the next one's they.
Shrieking.
Shrieking? Oh, I don't know. Fuck.
Shrieking skulls will haunt your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Elena? Tom whispered as he and his friend slowly snuck into the room, searching every part of the room for any sign for Vicky's friend. Elena, are you there? Roger whispered, a hint of fairness voice. Do you think that freak went and took her soul too? What? Vicky asked loudly, her head zipping to Roger. Oh, fuck off with that, man, Mike said impatiently.
There isn't some monster going around pretending to be Sonic and stealing people's souls, damn it. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Vicky desperately asked. Mike, I'm telling you, it's the only... Tom tried to reason, but Mike wasn't having any of it. And I'm telling you, Tom, there is no fucking monster here.
Oh, yes, there is.
X, go give it to That's what it took to make this story palatable. X gon' give it to ya.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you.
Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver it to you. Knock, knock. Open up the door. Rail with the non-stop papa stainless steel.
It's just fucking Sonic.
It's Sonic, but you just hear it in the background.
Yep.
Like, you're not sure where the music's coming from, you just know that it seems to be somewhere on the other side of Sonic.
Oh, God.
Oh, god damn it. Anyway, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.